Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Justice's Waiting Room, a daily live podcast. We're going to discuss news and politics. I am your host. My name is Jared. Welcome. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Likely Alien. Get me off the front page. Hope y'all are having a good week. It's hump day. I love how the warning on the chat says guard your privacy. And without any of us having any say in the matter, seemingly overnight, YouTube exposed all of our non-public usernames to each other. So I find that hilarious. I want to continue to use my platform and this program to tell you to control what you can control. Don't sit around and doom scroll. It will consume you. It's okay to poke your head in. That's why I like this little show, right? We start from a world perspective. A lot of people that aren't just here every morning are gonna be like, "What is this? What are they even talking about?" Right? Airbus chair calls on Europe to acquire tactical nuclear weapons. Updated 1 hour ago. Airbus chairman Rene Obermann has called on European countries to acquire tactical nuclear weapons in response to the threat posed by Russian Iskander missiles deployed at Kaliningrad that can carry nuclear warheads. See what capitalism does? Kara said, I can't believe he chose the Chiefs over the Colts. You have to understand that Taylor and I are competing, and that's different from our fifis. In my feelings, the Colts win. In I like to present a consistent. I'm looking at the odds. I'm thinking about what's going on in the NFL. Chiefs really haven't beat anybody. The Colts are somebody. He hasn't beat the Colts. They're favored to win by Vegas. It's kind of like I want them to blow them out, but come on, man. Capitalism will have the heads of corporations calling for the creation of nuclear warheads instead of everybody gets rid of their fucking nukes. Hey, we need more. Who? No. Uh, Indonesia's Mount Semeru has erupted. Residents have been put on high alert. So there's been a big volcano eruption. Yeah, Chiefs had home field advantage. They're also favored to win. So keep in mind, it wasn't just going to be limited to the U.S. So if you thought what's going on in the United States was only going to be in the United States, okay? Social Democrats in Denmark have suffered sweeping election losses. Look, I'll be super upfront with you. The reason that I'm not a DSA member, a Democratic Socialist, is because I'm not upholding the virtues of capitalism. I'm not going to as we move forward and as I've ascribed to you already. Let me explain it like this. So it's open enrollment for me at work, okay? And I get paid, and I don't think about before taxes. I think about after taxes. So I get paid like $36,000 a year base. To me, that's only a couple $1,000s a month before my performance pay. Okay. My options for healthcare for 2026. Now, keep in mind, I'm a disabled veteran. I use the VA. I've never paid for healthcare. It's never been worth it. Because my options out of that couple $1,000s that I get every couple weeks, my options are to pay 8%, 16%, or 21% of my take home pay on healthcare before I use it. The average person in the United States used to pay $500 to $800 a month in rent. It's doubled. I talk to people all day, every day, and have financial conversations all day, every day, and I very rarely meet people paying less than like $1,200, $1,200 to $1,600 for a place to live. So if you're making $15 an hour or less and working full time or less, which would be that my base pay, okay? If you just think about that, there's no way that you could afford rent, health care, your bills, groceries, student loans. You couldn't afford those things on that $36,000 salary. Think about how many companies you've heard of that like that's their starting pay, right? So I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I don't believe that we can keep doing it this way. Think about this. I think about we need $500 every Friday or we're cooked. And I think it's more. Yeah, the VA used to use that as a means of expanding healthcare for other people. I think social democrats are still bankrolled by large corporations, and the heads of big business still have their fist up their ass and are puppeting them around. And if society is apt to give up on anything, it's a puppet. It's somebody who's being clearly controlled. Democracy is great as long as you can apply the rules evenly. And we don't do that. Democracy for thee, but not for me. Just how it is, right? This country belongs to a handful of people. Everybody else is fucked. But the reality is, you can no longer afford to sit in the middle and say, now, everybody play nice. No. We gotta get rid of the people that are consumed by foreign money, that's Russia and Israel, and root it out of our politics altogether. We have to root big business out of our politics. It is not a government's position to support business. The government is for the people. A government is for the people. The only part about democracy that I like is that the people have to choose it. And the thing about it is, they do choose it. That's what's fucking crazy. we keep ending up with corporate Democrats and fucking traitor Republicans and fucking, you know what I mean? Goose stepping motherfuckers, right? Instead of good people that deserve to be in positions of leadership because it's what they've got, that's what they embody. So we were just talking about how the head of what was the first story we talked about? The head of Airbus, right? Well, now Raytheon got awarded a contract to produce and them Saudis. Yeah. So we could, like I said, we keep giving big government subsidies to. Let me check notes. Raytheon, who will then sign a contract with Taiwan to produce National Advanced Surface to Air Missile Systems. This is the dumbest shit ever. If you're gonna do covert action, why the fuck are they putting out news stories before? I don't get it. Yeah, golfers getting dark money. It feels racist. Ooh, ATAC. So, big missile attack, long range ballistic missiles carry out, give me a little tear in my eye, carry out a precise strike on military targets inside Russia. Yeah, baby. Here you go. Yeah, don't forget about Lockheed Martin. So here's Trump publicly dismissing U.S. intelligence that Saudi prince that he had at the hosted at the Oval Office. Now, this is going to be a little long-winded, and you're going to have to go with me. But this is this physics.org article. Okay, quantum teleportation has been achieved. They have teleported fucking photons. As a somebody who loves like wizards and stuff, being able to teleport is the power. Is the So imagine if that's existed for a long time and we've been fucking teleporting and shit. Quantum cryptography. Cryptography. Huh. China ran a fake image campaign against Rafael. Russian spy ship currently on the edge of UK waters, warns their defense secretary. Science is magic. Absolutely. Think about and again, I'm overstepping when I say this. But think about how unique of a perspective you have as members of the audience that met me when I was still going to school for data analytics at Purdue, and I started to take the capstone courses and realize like this is all AI. They just spent like the last 2 years teaching me how to hard like do data analytics, and then the last 18 months of this degree program is all AI. And I was just like, I'm not interested. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to go work for some company like that. And long story short, I had a professor who was an executive at AT&T for 26 years that got out of that to go be a professor to tell people in data analytics programs, hey, instead of leaning into the AI program, switch to video game development. That way that you get your programming skills up and certifications that are much more beneficial to your career, because this AI shit isn't gonna fucking work. And I've sat here as someone that was going to school in my 40s, that was real serious about it, that was just like, this isn't a good investment for the government. Remember, the government was going to pay for me to get that degree and pay me to get that degree. And I had to think about like, do I trust somebody who's been in the workforce for 30 years that has seen fads come and go, that broke it down for us and told us all that all that artificial intelligence is going to do, all they can do is use it to be violent. You could get it to be violent over and over and over again. There's a book. I'm trying to remember this book I read. Boy builds a robot, and he like grows up with this robot, and the robot like, it's not Wally. It's not the nurse robot either. It's a real robot. But as he gets older, the kid realizes the robot is super violent. And then one day he kind of talks to the robot, and the robot's like, I don't know how to grow a garden. I don't know how to dig a well. I can't provide you shelter. I'm not built like that. But if anything comes around and it's a danger to you, I'll eliminate it. As I've said before, when you use artificial intelligence in terms of a business, all it's going to look at is the low end, right? The parts of your company that are the newest, the investments that you've made that are the lowest impact, because they're the newest and they affect the least amount of people. And artificial intelligence is just dumb. When you think, I think artificial, I think like artificial sweetener is just not legitimate. And then imagine going through school and being like, this shit's bogus. I got somebody in the industry that's telling me, just learn to program, like it'd be so much better for your career. This AI shit's whack. And then we've sat here and watched this AI bubble. And we've watched companies divest from AI. Facebook was one of the first ones. And what did I fucking tell you? Do you know why? Okay, let's just back the fuck up, make the bigger point, and that helps everybody understand why we're talking about it. Why do you think Donald Trump hates trans people and fucking Venezuelan people? Artificial intelligence. See, what they did was he's trying to succeed in his mass deportation plan, right? And so what they thought they would do is they thought they would go after the smallest population group first, Venezuelans. They didn't think anybody would support them, and that Donald Trump would be able to just freely fucking deport 300, I think it was like 3,000, 300,000 people or something like that. Shitty artificial intelligence informing your data analytics is going to have you hating trans people. Trans people, less than 1% of all of the people. Why is Donald Trump hyper fixated on trans people? Is it because he's transphobic? Do you think that fucking fourth grader with dementia is smart enough to be transphobic? Or do you think it's shitty, sloppy AI informing his data analytics and his decision making? And trans people are the smallest community. And artificial intelligence is fucking stupid. So it's going to have the president of the United States targeting fucking Venezuelan people and fucking trans people because they represent the smallest communities. And this is how stupid artificial intelligence is. This is how it works in your business. Artificial will go to the smallest line of code and it will say, is this necessary? How much are you spending on it? What's its return? It's not making us money. Cut it. That's how it worked. That's why DEI was the first thing cut. If you don't think the reason the rise of artificial intelligence and the decline of DEI are directly connected, I don't know what to tell you because they run hip to hip. Think about DEI. It's a relatively new program, right? When did companies start developing a DEI program? What was their investment in DEI? Was it bearing fruit? Were they profiting? No, because it's not what fucking DEI is for. DEI is trying to inform your culture, right? Influence your culture. It's not necessarily going to help you make more money right away. It's not a cash flow creator, right? So, what happens when you use artificial intelligence target is they go in and they look and they go, oh, well, we're investing 1.8% of our revenue into this DEI program. It's not exactly profiting us. Cut it. This is poorly informed data analytics using artificial intelligence. There's a reason. Y'all are being funny. I'm being dead serious. Like, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying it was poorly informed data analytics using artificial intelligence, which is bad. Think about it. M- Not disagreeing, Mike. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not poo pooing DEI. I'm saying, why do you think it was cut? Do you think it's because they're bigots, or do you think it was poorly informed artificial intelligence informing their data analytics, who now sits in their executive chamber and now informs those fucking execs? And oh, by the way, the data analyst is the only intelligent person on your entire staff. And when you just start listening to them and you start using the tools that they come with, you're going to make poorly informed decisions based on what their shitty AI came up with. hmm And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I also think they're racists and bigots and horrible people, in that these bad decisions also they agree with. It's the only way. Think about what I'm saying. The only way they could get the math to math in their favor is to use artificial intelligence to inform their data analytics, which is informing their decision making. Think about this. 10, 15 years ago, your executives did not have a liaison from data analytics that parsed their data for them and handed them folders and said, this is your fucking information." Now, uh, almost every executive either has a data steward themselves, or meaning they have someone that understands the shit and can speak their language too. Here's the problem with artificial intelligence: it doesn't work when the power goes out. What's like one of the big threats here? Yeah, I love them too. Chernobyl. Russians attacked, killed children. 12 children. They get rid of DEI, I believe, so they could in court go after political enemies and have a disproportionate sentencing from what has happened in the past. Hmm. That just doesn't seem like it's working for them. They're trying to demand the government resigns in Ukraine. So remember, Zelensky's dealing with a corruption scandal in his own government. Romania scrambles fighter jets after drone breach during Russian strike on Ukraine. China is banning. Oh, this is how wars start, kids. Get your warring pants on. China has banned Japanese seafood? Oh shit, girl. It's on like Donkey Kong. Let's share the show. Morning. Have a fantastic hump day. Justice's Waiting Room, a daily podcast discussing news and politics, is live. Just sharing the show real quick. Hashtag JWR. And as always, early and often, free Palestine, Slava Ukraine. Awesome. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, you can find me, friend me, and share the posts. That'd be great. China has banned Japanese seafood. Listen, from Moscow, Reuters reporting. Australia's e-safety commissioner called to testify before U.S. Congress labeled a zealot. Ooh, what is a zealot? Let's look up that word. I don't want to be that, right? Does anybody know? What's a zealot? Oh, person who is excessively or fanatically devoted to a cause, especially a religious or political one. Is it a bad thing? Oh. Oh. So, interesting. Russia freezes. The U.S. brings gas, breaks blockade to heat Ukraine. Yeah, they'll just, when the Democrats take back over, they'll just cancel that. Oh, wow, this is crazy. Jared, socialism will never work. Universal income will never fly. Oh, that's wild. Marshall Islands has launched universal basic income using digital infrastructure. However, oh my god, I bet you they all just become druggies that sit around on their mom's couch and do dick all, right? Is that the sentiment that we're supposed to share with people that don't have to work and get a basic level of living covered? Yeah, just want to continue to point that out. As the grocery prices continue to climb and gas prices continue to climb, you could have $500 every Friday. We could still have a fully funded military, a fully funded education system, and free college, and universal income, and universal health care. We could have all of those things. We have to, first of all, you have to acknowledge that they exist in the world and people have it. 33 of 34 developed countries in the world have universal health care. The same, this is like coming out of my body. Okay? Every one of these healthcare companies that operates in the United States, guess what? They operate in those 33 other fucking countries at billions of dollars in profit. And guess what? They don't charge a premium. There's not a copay. You know the story that you hear about wait times? That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my adult life. I have been in multiple countries in my life. And guess what? Most of these places have universal health care and you walk right the fuck in. Shut the fuck up about that wait time bullshit. I've had people get fucking denied and die denied surgery and die in the United States. I don't want to hear a fucking thing about wait times. Ever. It's free. And know that Donald Trump walking back all these fucking tariffs do not mean prices are going to go down. Companies are going to charge as much as they can get away with. I've tried to say, stop fucking buying their shit. Limit your purchasing power. Save your fucking money up. Grow a garden. Put in solar panels. Teach these motherfuckers a lesson. That we are hard. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, parasocial. It is Cambridge Dictionary's word of the year. So we are going to learn some words today. Okay? You know how dumb I am? I didn't know what a zealot was. Cool. I was a zealot when I was a kid. I was a Christian zealot when I was a child. I was overly enthusiastic about Christ. Show would be a lot more popular if I was. Can you imagine if I'd gone to seminary? Alright. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided, one-way bond where an individual feels a deep emotional connection and sense of intimacy with a media person, such as a celebrity, influencer, fictional character. Oh. So you know when I say don't get to know your heroes and shit? Don't be parasocial. Huh. Learn something new. Remember, all this shit with Argentina, oil and gold. Oh god damn it, did I say 6-7? God! Volodymyr Zelensky is being pressured to fire their top aide during this corruption scandal, this $100 million scandal they got going on in fucking Ukraine. Sucks. Has to do with their nuclear power supplier. Japan is counting the cost of China's travel boycott as tensions flare. The problem with warring, the problem with your militaries is that your gear goes bad, your guns go bad, your bullets go bad. And it'd be a damn shame if your bullets went bad, if your guns weren't any good anymore. So every now and then you just got to get out there and fucking shoot them shits, piss somebody off, possibly start a fucking war. Hey, China has banned importing Japanese seafood. I don't know if you've heard this or not. The Chinese are not known for their fucking seafood. So when you ask me, Jared, what does this mean? This means the Chinese people. I mean, I'm guessing what goes in fucking Chinese food real good is like seafood from Japan that's not being imported now. Restaurants are going to collapse, right? Think about the government. Government should not be interfering with the fucking trade with foreign countries. This is going to cause restaurants to go out of business in China. It's also going to cause fisheries to go out of fucking business. Although now I just think they'll sell their shit elsewhere. And again, I think if you're a kind of country that's going to act, cause a fucking ruckus, I think that you should just be replaced. Rather than warring, it's just like we're just going to do business elsewhere. Spain pledges $710 million in Ukraine military aid. what happened is that countries are did not invest in their militaries, are being forced to invest in their militaries now, and are going to spend the rest of our lives preparing for and warring on multiple fronts because of a lack of leadership um, that's risen, and you can blame Donald Trump and MAGA and their rise in popularity. Hmm. Saab is going to match American-made F-35s to fill Canadian needs. So the U.S. fucked up a trade deal with Canada over American-made F-35s, right? So a Swiss company, Saab, is going to step up and provide jets. Make America great again, right? Canada announces a massive jump in funding of the European Space Agency. 11 people killed in an Israeli strike in Lebanon. So here's Israel just wanton just attacking its neighbors. Should you just be able to do this? Should you be able to do that? 13 people killed in another country? It struck militants who were operating in a training compound in the crowded Ain el Hilwa Palestinian refugee camp near Sidon. The military said the compound's been used by the Palestinian movement Hamas to carry out attacks against Israel. I want to point out that Israel created Hamas. Bibi created Hamas. When they blame Hamas, they created them. Fuck you mean? Libya is pushing to restore its monarchy. Jesus fuck. Fraud reports over 13,673 losses over $6 billion for fake investments. All right, here's the last one. We'll switch over. Sanctions choke off Russia's oil flow to China. Crude imports nosedive 66%. All right. Epstein emails come out. Larry Summers quits the OpenAI board. So think about it. All the bigwigs that are invested in AI, they just wanted control over the information that says that they're pedophiles and shit. You you know he ain't gonna sign this bill, right? But apparently, it says 10 minutes ago, Trump's supposed to sign this bill. Trump's niece, Mary Trump, not happy about Donald Trump calling that reporter Miss Piggy. Every time you point your fingers, there are multiple fingers pointing right back at you. Don't let every accusation be a confession. Donald Trump is a fat piece of shit. Yeah, he ain't gonna sign it. Ooh, Barron Trump's comments to Joe Biden at the inauguration were revealed. I farted. Damn, all he said was something nice. Old grumpy lady get kicked off for your opinions, but you know what? Write down how you feel. You know, if you want to make content, I'll teach you how. Okay? Not everybody can do it like I do it. Stream of consciousness, no need to storyboard. I'll just speak until I'm done. Yeah. Old lady playing classic video games would be a banger. I told my wife plays Sims, and I've told her people would watch you just ASMR. Just like build your little houses and your little communities and manage your little families and shit. Like, remember Eli Weinstein? He was one of those people that Donald Trump pardoned. Everybody was all up in arms, like, oh, it's a miscarriage of justice. You know what's crazy about um, crime is that the people that commit crime tend to keep committing crime. And what have we learned? The president of the United States, yeah, the president of the United States, he can't pardon you for state crimes. hmm Axios reporting furious progressives swarm Schumer's job as Democratic leader. Oh yeah. The best part about it is I think that the beef of what's in the files the victims have. The Epstein estate provided. I think that's part of the reason that all this is happening. Hey, crush. The obvious Donald Trump's environmental. Yeah. Hey, the good news is you can get pardoned for federal crimes. You can't get pardoned for state crimes. So here's USA Today reporting the Epstein files may not come out, even though blah blah blah, all that shit we already knew. I mean, let me explain how bad these files were. And you tell me how heavily can you redact this shit. When When the FBI was going over the Epstein files, they had to take regular breaks. I mean, there's what we think we know. You don't ever use an old name. Mm-mm. I don't want to remember a dog that died. Jesus Christ. Donald Trump's anti climate agenda could result in 1.3 million deaths. Stop breaking the law, asshole. Yeah. An ICE agent arrested in a sex trafficking sting told the police, "I'm ICE, baby." Yeah, it's a massive space. It's a massive expanding, uh, rapidly expanding. It's gonna hit Earth. We're all gonna die. It's definitely not fucking aliens. I just want you all to know this. I know there's people out there that are really hoping I'm wrong. They're saying, Ilhan Omar says we cannot sell F-35s to Congress. Dismantling of USAID has killed 600,000 people to date. Yeah, you don't have immunity? By the way, Laura Loomer yesterday said the Republican Party has a Nazi problem. At least she's admitting that the call is coming from inside the house. She said we have a Nazi problem. You courted Nazis. Here's an Al Jazeera story on how many times Israel's violated a ceasefire since 1948. Remember, the Israel of today is not the Israel of the Bible. The Israel of today was founded in 1948 by David Ben Gurion, who was then the head of the Jewish Agency. The entire purpose of Israel is to act in the United States imperialist and expansionist ways. Uh, this makes what they did in Gaza a genocide, also forced starvation. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Hey, just because you find yourself agreeing with someone does not make them likable. Donald Trump's going to ease steel and aluminum tariffs. Remember, Donald Trump both creates and solves problems. It's almost like he can create life and destroy it. He's God. Anyway, oops. This is what happens when you have a fucking buffoon as president. Immigrants unlawfully detained by ICE in New York to receive over $100 million in compensation. The ruling found Suffolk County and the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office financially liable for violating the constitutional rights of 674 people. This is called precedent. And then, of course, remember, nearly all of the immigrants detained in Trump's Chicago raid had no criminal record. CNN with a political analysis: a Washington humiliation leaves Trump more politically exposed on Epstein than ever before. Donald Trump exposed. LOL. Democrats have the biggest advantage for control of Congress in 8 years. This means all the money power is going to shift to the Democrats. This is why we need the American Socialist Party, because the Republicans, they got all the money to get into power. They sucked. However volatile the economy, it still made more money for powerful people. And then what will happen is the appearance of justice will take place, and Democrats will purport that they're adequately punishing these people. The Grio. Jasmine Crockett says corrupt Trump has more to hide. So keep this in mind. The man may have blew a horse, and that might not be the worst thing in these Epstein files. I just want to make sure I point that out there. Hey, Kamala Harris makes a campaign appearance for Tennessee Democrat. I never really give someone too much shit for using emojis, you know? Sometimes it's better than screaming. Chuck Schumer faces lowest Siena poll ratings ever. CBS 6 in Albany, New York reporting. Oh, hey, look who's back, everybody! Elon Musk returns to the White House as tensions thaw with Trump. A reminder that Elon Musk is a fucking Nazi. The House decided not to censure Plaskett. Yeah, life is way too serious. The question: could the destruction of the ACA lead to Democrats championing Medicare for all? This might as well say Donald Trump ordered the firing of the staff that leaked the information that said Ghislaine Maxwell is being treated well. What? This is a word salad. GOP wants puppy killer Kristi Noem to deport dog kicker. Well, he went. Oh, he moved out of the White House and hasn't been around. Apparently, he's been hiding in Texas. I just want to make sure we continue to say, hey, Jeffrey Epstein brothers saying Donald Trump did not suck Bill Clinton's dick. Working Families Party to support primary challenger to Senator Fetterman. Yeah, I wonder if the leaked information was that audio. I'll start a war. I don't care if the information gets out. I'll take you down with me. It's certainly something that Donald Trump would say. 100%. That's in his wheelhouse. Uh huh. I have absolutely no doubts. World Health Organization to lose nearly a quarter of its workforce, a couple thousand jobs, due to the U.S. withdrawing funding. An appeals court is mulling a $1 million penalty for Donald Trump and his lawsuit against Hillary Clinton. Kick his ass, Hillary. Trump officials are policing words and foiling deals at the G20 summit. Hey, again, I've heard that audio several times, and I think it's real. But also, here's the thing. We also live in a world where you could easily reproduce that. So I could suspend my belief should it come out that that's not real. You understand? Like, I'm not going to let that sway me. Yep, I think he said it. Make sure everybody reads what Kara said. Scott Bessent said the reason that American beef is so high is because immigrants came into the United States and brought their cows with them. We are being governed by the dumbest motherfuckers ever. U.S. federal workers would lose whistleblower safeguards under Trump rule. Here's what I try to think about. Is it something he would say? Yes. Is it damning? No. Trump appointed judge rebukes President's power grab and scathing ruling. People are starting to stand up to Donald Trump, right? The rule of law. The union. Hey, look. See what happens when when you've got a union? Hey, check this out. IRS hastens its back pay timeline after the union cried out. Contrary to a timeline offered by administration officials on Thursday, the IRS initially told employees Friday not to expect any back until November 24th. And then listen, um, the National Treasury Employees Union said that the Internal Revenue Service had not displayed the proper urgency in working to issue back pay to its employees by November 19th. Hell yeah. See what happens when you have a union working for you? Lawmakers force House vote nullifying anti-union executive orders. Donald Trump tells McDonald's owners that the U.S. is in a golden age. The stats say otherwise. You have to understand, Donald Trump is a dumb man, right? So the problem is that Donald Trump has enriched himself while in public office to the tune of billions of dollars personally. So he is in his golden age. He has finally hit his nut, right? He all the times that Donald Trump fucked this up, all the opportunities he had where he fucking flopped, he is hitting right now to the tune of like $6 billion. He's never had, and it's all his. So he's never had it better. So of course he's thinking, we're in a golden age. This is the best it's ever been because it's the best it's ever been for him. He has to do the least, and he's raking in money hand over fist. I'm not even worried about the U.S. using nukes. Worried about other countries using nukes, and I'm worried about American companies building nukes for other countries and nuclear capable weapons. Here's the article on the man who voted to keep the Epstein files secret. So keep in mind there was one Republican from Louisiana, obviously, Mike Johnson's state, that voted to keep the Epstein files secret. Yep. Clay Higgins. By the way, Clay Higgins hangs out with a pedophile. This is problematic. Trump has designated Saudi Arabia a major non NATO ally as President heaps praise on the Crown Prince. Hey, you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is with McDonald's? Their food has so much salt. So much preservative and carbohydrate. McDonald's is basically inedible hogwash. I I would not eat McDonald's. You couldn't pay me to do it. McDonald's, I don't eat Steak and Shake either because of my wife. About the only place we burger places we eat are local places. Hmm. Yeah, like McDonald's food is beneath you. Yeah, good on the reporter for calling them out. It's not that I can't get along with anyone. It's that I can't see everyone's point of view. And so if I were president, you would never see me happy go lucky with Saudi royalty. Nah, McDonald's is fucking trash. The good news is, if you're trying to die, McDonald's is perfect because it's high in salt and preservative and carbohydrate. And those are the things that your body needs to die. And I'm actually, ugh. And think Donald Trump thinks that's the height of the. God damn it. Hey, the U.S. government's dismissing uh, bird flu. Bob said his dog won't even eat McDonald's. I could hang out with your dog. I used to be a dollar millionaire. I used to eat McDonald's regularly. But I also used to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol regularly. You know, they say like every 7 years you replace every cell in your body. So if you just like stop drinking, stop smoking, stop eating McDonald's today, in 7 fucking years you'll have all that nasty shit out of your body. You're welcome. His cardiologist must have made him stop eating it. Do you think so? Because here's my legitimate question. There are people that are in healthcare. I need to know. So, if he changes his behavior, do you still think he has to go to the hospital every week and disappear for several days while he gets fucking deflated? Or even if he changes his diet, it's still gonna be this bad? Question. Stacy said last November, we were one Big Mac away. I think the reason that he has to disappear from, and again, this is my opinion, and I'm not a medical professional, but my professional opinion, my personal opinion, is that Donald Trump did not change his behavior because he's a fucking asshole and he still eats like shit, and that's why he has to disappear from public view for several days at a time while he goes and gets his shit worked on. That's what I think. Like, do you think he got a fucking nutritionist and started eating home cooked meals? I don't think so. I think he still gets on Air Force One and gets handed a large hot French fry and then gets sat down with a tray with a fillet of fish, a Big Mac, and a double quarter pounder. And based on how Donald Trump feels, he combines the fillet of fish with one of the burgers and eats it all together after having ate a fry and then washes it down with a fucking Diet Coke or whatever. Hopefully it's a fuck, I don't know. So I don't think that he's changed his behavior. I don't think that he's changed his diet. I still think that he gets the best healthcare in the world, that it takes them I don't know anything about this, but I'm willing to say it takes him a few days to get him right for a few days. And I think it's just going to get worse where he's gone for longer and he's around for less and eventually he's gone for good is what I think he's headed toward. Hey Squint. Loves fried chicken and eats it all the time. Yeah, you know what? You know what pissed me off? You know what pissed me off? So not only does this motherfucker get driven the fuck around, but he likes fried chicken. You fucking slob. He eats fried chicken, gets it all over the fucking car, and just throws the bones on the fucking carpet, like of the limo. So they had to put in special seating just to fight his grease. He has access to the best healthcare in the world. Unlike you and I are well, I have pretty goddamn good healthcare, but he's like he's got like the best. I mean, he's going to like Mayo Clinic and fucking Walter Reed and shit. I ain't even been in Walter Reed. You know what I'm saying? Everything he is everything I'm not. Yeah, nasty fucking slob. About the only thing that I don't do is I don't eat pizza with a fork. So the good news is if I were ever elected president, you don't have to worry about me eating fucking fried chicken in a limo. Who the fuck? What is it? What is he living his childhood? Um, riding around in a fucking limo eating fried chicken. That's whack. Yeah, you could definitely catch me at like sporting events. You could definitely catch. Oh, there's Jared Malott, the President of the United States, at the Army Navy game, yelling out "Fuck Army." What? Yeah, you goddamn right. Marine Corps. My ass rides in Navy equipment. That's supposed to be funny. It's like better than what we have. Yeah, yeah. He has congestive heart failure. It's gonna get worse, especially since he's not being compliant. Right, right. And again, I'm asking questions, hoping someone corrects me when I say, does he or does he not have to disappear for days at a time to get right? And by get right, they have to suck all the fucking fluid out of his fat ass. Somebody posted a picture of him yesterday in the Oval Office that I thought was fake. That's how bad he looked. I just want to see him bald without makeup on, fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? I can say this with my full chest. I just want him to die. Just die. I don't want anybody kill him. Don't kill him. He's just gonna die. Yeah, it's gonna get worse. He's gonna piss and shit himself. He's gonna pull out his catheter and his fucking colostomy bag in fucking public. So orange, he's borderline jaundiced. Yeah. Bill targeting White House ballroom donations, introduced by Democrats. He looked all yellow with the Saudi guy. Good eye, good eye. Pardoned Capitol rioter tried to bribe child sex victim with the promise of January 6 payout. Andrew Paul Johnson, 44 years old, could have been me, faces multiple charges in Florida, including lewd and lascivious molestation, according to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. Here's a picture of him at January 6th. Has multiple organ failure for sure. Fuck yeah. That's what I want. Die, motherfucker, die! You sanction him as soon as his mess is over. Yeah, for sure. No shit. No shit. You want to see what the no shit story of the day is? Do you guys remember a couple months ago they found a dead girl in this singer's car in his Tesla? Do you remember David? He's now considered a suspect. No shit. How is he not the primary originally? It was his fucking car. He's the one that fucking called the cops. And she was only 15. This should tell you everything you want to know. The rumor is JD Vance is always in Tennessee on the weekends. Is that where Erica Kirk lives? Fuck, I don't know. You know they're fucking though. By the way, I think we knew this yesterday during the show, but in case we didn't, let's all giggle at a federal judge blocking Texas's redistricting. So this means all the other redistricting efforts have failed except for Prop 50, which poses to give Democrats a not only this is what I'm talking about, uniparty. When one party is so fucking obtuse, when what they're trying to do is so wildly fucking unpopular, you would I would be shocked if Republicans won an election. In the rest of my life, anyone voting or running as a Republican, you're a fucking idiot, right? So if the options are I'm not voting for them because they're fucking idiots, or establishment Democrat, more of the same, there has to be another option. There has to be someone. First of all, there has to be the best person for the job. And very often, I don't feel like the very best person for the job is even running. Because again, I see certain positions of leadership as more about like, this is more about travel, public speaking, getting along with other people, being social. You know what I mean? As opposed to this is about policy writing and legalese and spending all your time in courtrooms. You know what I mean? Like, uh, AI pics are out of Erica in a leather suit with buttons, looking like a leather sofa. So yeah, what I foresee is firm Democratic control, a lot of status quo, and a lot of small time corruption. You know what I mean? Like I don't want a uniparty without the banning of trading of stocks. You can't trust them either, right? Look how much money what's her name? Nancy fucking Pelosi made. Did you know she profited like 16,000 like 17,000% on stock trades while in office? Do you know that she beat like every financial analyst ever because she sat in fucking meetings and was privy to information and made investment decisions? And you know what's crazy? The best people for the job don't even want it. And that's the people that should be in office. Are the people that are like, it's not that the job's beneath me, it's that I didn't think I needed a seat of power to be happy. I didn't think this was gonna like is gonna fill me up, and then this is all I can ever want and need. I, as somebody who's been in charge everywhere I've gone, sometimes it's not good to do that. Sometimes you don't want to be in charge. That's how I feel. Sometimes you could lead without the title. Lots of, oh, Jesus Christ. So, if any of you wanted to bet on certainty, I would bet on JD Vance getting a divorce from Usha. And he and Erica Kirk teaming up, the Dumb Vengers, or some shit. Bob said, "Do you think Victoria's Secret has anything in couch cover? Do you have anything on in love seat?" A Russian attack hits flats. Yeah, we this was one of the first stories we talked about this morning. Sorry, I was just looking at the news. I ain't run out of shit. I could go all day. It's just trying to figure out, am I repeating a story from earlier? This is a story from early in the show. Nearly 21,000 Charlotte Mecklenburg students were absent from school on Monday as ICE moved into the Charlotte area. Hey, we were talking about a national strike, right? This is the energy we need. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if everybody in the United States just said, fuck it, I'm not leaving my house for a fucking week, I'm only getting a bare fucking minimum, shit would change quick, fast, and hurry. If every and shout out whatever, I forgot your fucking name. She don't come around that often. Dakota. Dakota was like, we need a general strike. We need a national strike. We need everybody. This includes students and teachers and medical professionals. The only problem I have is a strike, including medical professionals, would never work because there are far too many people that require urgent care all the time. And if you keep making exceptions and saying, oh, well, those people don't need to go, and it's like, so then it's not a general strike. We're not all not working. We're not all not buying shit. And again, it would only take 3 days. If everybody just stopped fucking buying and selling for 3 goddamn days, this shit flips up the fuck side down. I'm telling you. No floral print. Mama always said stay off of that couch. What's crazy is my old lady holding a shotgun in her nightgown greeted ICE in North Carolina. That's the fuck I'm talking about. They are screwing over nurses. Hey, you ain't never hear me say they're fine. I'm just saying, like, when we proffer a general strike, you gotta know that there are medical professionals that cannot participate. There are professionals that absolutely could strike. Okay. Yeah, the Department of Education is trying to delegitimize nursing degrees. Again, do you know why they're trying to delegitimize nursing degrees? So they can tear apart the student loan forgiveness program. They keep in mind. I've said this before, maybe not to this audience. The regime in power, their whole objective is to demoralize you, make you unhealthy, and make you poor so that you can't defend yourself when they come for you. They've been doing it our whole lives under the guise of capitalism. They've been weakening us. They've been putting horrible shit in our food. They've been putting guns in our fucking face. Shooty shooty bang bangs fucking everywhere. They want you foaming at the fucking mouth, unarmed, malnourished, hating your fucking neighbor. That's that's what the regime in power wants. Yeah, and they want you bedside and not with advanced degrees. Oh yeah. And they want to demoralize women. Oh yeah. There's nothing that intimidates dumb people more than smart people. Angie said, I'll be damned if I go bedside again mentally, physically, emotionally. I can't do 12 plus hour shifts. Yeah. No. No. I think 8 hours is fucking insane. By the way. You know what I bet is a great fucking job? Life insurance. Hear me out. 6 hours a day, fuckload of money, feel good about what you're doing. I like life insurance. As somebody that sold insurance, French farmers spraying manure on government buildings, yeah. I personally know a MAGA that graduated nursing school. Jeez. What are they in their 50s? All right, let's eat the rich, check the weather, and get out of here. Yeah. So I loved being a bedside nurse before it was meetings and charting. All right, let's check out Y'allbot. As a reminder, keep your eye on the weather yourself. No surprises. One of the ways this shows has changed over time is we close our show talking about weather after what happened in Hill Country, Texas. Right? Dense fog creates winter weather advisory issued for Hawaii's Big Island. That's right. It's going to snow in Hawaii, y'all. Hey, it's going to be pretty active today. Winter storm warning in Alaska, heavy snow, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Looks like, let's see, mixed rain and snow in northern Montana. There's precipitation, though, all over Montana, Idaho. It looks like that weather that was in California yesterday has moved east into Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, Denver, even with rain and snow in the mix in the southwest. Uh, in I want to say this is fog in Texas. In south central Texas is a giant patch of fog that people are saying is like causing fucking car accidents and shit. And then I see North Dakota, Minnesota with some rain slash mixed snow. And then it looks like there's some moisture off the eastern seaboard, a little bit of North Carolina. And again, one of the things I always say is I'm not a weatherman. So I'm not really sure how that moisture is going to interact with the East Coast, the moisture that's off the East Coast, whether it's coming in or going out. But keep your head on a swivel. My part of the country is clear and dry today. And have a great day. We will get together tomorrow. Snow in Hawaii. Oh, that seems normal. Yeah. So, have a good day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.